हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल वंदे मातरम। सब्सक्राइब करिए हमारे इस चैनल को और बेल आइकन को दबाकर हमारे वीडियोस देखिए सबसे पहले और बिल्कुल फ्री।
Soviet model went off, and then this sheer concentration on economic reforms, that is not going to produce electoral success. And in a democracy, you have to factor that in also, that you got to win elections to continue the thing. But after that, I found that there are certain new institutions that were set in place, which has made the problem of black money even more untractable. One is this Mauritius route. And the Mauritius route, according to Professor, is not due to the Congress, but due to the NDA of Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Mr. Yashwant Sinha. So next time he comes here to give a speech, please ask him. After reading his book, I'm not saying this, you're saying this. So, use his book and say, this is what is said, is it true? It is a fact that Mauritius was given a special status, that anything of a Mauritius company will be exempt from taxes. For example, in BSE, anyone makes a capital gains, I think you charge 25% or something like that. What is the charge for capital gains in Bombay stocks? Sure. But if your company is registered in Mauritius, zero. Plus, this participatory notes was also introduced, which I have been fighting to abolish, quite a long way, but not enough. Where black money goes out, converts into through hawala to bank deposits, and then the cash is put before the counters of Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs. They give you a participatory note. You come here, trade in the stock market, and no capital gains tax, and the money becomes white, and you take it back. So these are the ones which have made it profitable to earn on black money. The portion that you don't send abroad ends up distorting your investment priorities. You buy luxuries, you buy marble, you buy air conditioners, you go to 5-star hotels. All these get a higher rate of return, so future investment goes into it. Our investment directly, indirectly today, 70% allocated to luxury goods industry, not for the common man's industries. Whatever the common man needs gets only 30%. This is because the demand for black money is such that the luxury goods industries are prepared. Then there is another problem. You convert your black money through the hawala route. That means Dubai. Dubai means Dawood. Dawood means without his patronage, no hawala operator can operate in Dubai. That is why all these cinema stars go and pay obeisance to him. And then he gets all the data, which bank account, what number, everything, an amount, the identity of the person, and that is passed on to Pakistan. With this vital information, any country can blackmail you. And that blackmail process is going on. Now it's slowly coming out. We are not seeing it in Indian politicians yet. But what is this Moin Qureshi matter? They didn't prosecute it for such a long time. The CBI director himself was purchased by Moin Qureshi. Now we're prosecuting them. I will say one thing, if you don't mind my doing propaganda. For all that is said against BJP today, the Congress party has not been able to name a single minister of the central government who is corrupt or has filed a case against him. Some people say, why don't you file? I said, why should I file? I file against Congress, Congress should file against us. That's the way democracy works. Why should I file against my own people? First of all, you identify who is the one who's corrupt, then I can at least discuss with you. But they cannot understand. I have asked them, each congressman directly, name one corrupt BJP minister. They are not able to. This is the first time since 1947 when we don't have corrupt ministers in the central government. Nehru had Krishna Menon, Nehru had Rafi Ahmad Kidwai, Nehru had so many corrupt people. Indira Gandhi, starting with Indira Gandhi, the corruption has started. So this is a new development. And that's why certain things are happening which never happened before. The Moin Qureshi's examples there. Mr. Chidambaram is just outside the doors of TR jail. It's only today the Supreme Court had gone and asked for an early listing of the matter because the court is monitoring the. And his son, of course, has got 21 bank accounts abroad. A huge mansion jointly owned with Chidambaram in the city of Cambridge in England. Huge mansion. And God knows what all assets they have. Similarly, Sonia Gandhi, Prime Minister in his speeches says they are both out on bail. Who got them on bail? It was I, National Herald. It was not the government of India. It's I who filed a private complaint. And in the private complaint, a summons was issued. And then I prima facie proved the charges, so the court arrested them. And then they asked for bail. I did not object because if they had gone to jail just for, without a final conviction, then there would have been bhajan mandalis outside their jail to make them heroes and heroines. And all the upkeep and all these problems. So it's better to wait till the conviction. And look at, let me repeat to you what National Herald case is. It's the biggest fraud perpetrated in modern corporate history. National Herald was published by a company called Associated Journals, which was set up in 1937 at 10 rupees a share. Jawaharlal Nehru bought only one share, and all others like Acharya Narendra Dev, Rafi Ahmad Kidwai, etc., Kailash Nath Kharju, etc., etc., they bought 100 shares, 20 shares like that. And Jawaharlal Nehru was chosen as chairman by them all. There were 10 persons as required under 10 or 11 persons as required under the Societies Act. And they became a company. And it ran during the freedom struggle. It got a lot of money because people wanted to know. After Jawaharlal Nehru became Prime Minister, then they got a lot of money, a lot of property. In the end, in 2008, they had 5,000 crores worth of property, but had a debt of 90 crores, which they claimed was owned by Congress Party. That is, Congress Party had given them 90 crores over the years, and that was an unpaid debt, and they couldn't pay, which is a lie, because you have 5,000 crores of worth of property, you can certainly sell some of it and pay 90 crores. They closed it down. Having closed it down, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi formed a company called Young Indian, private limited company. 80% of the shares owned by the mother and son. And then they passed a resolution with other directors present, Motilal Vora, Oscar Fernandez and two others, Sam Petroda and Suman Dubey, and say that we should try and acquire National Herald Company, Associated Journals. So Motilal Vora, director of the Young Indian, should go and talk to the Congress Party and say that your 90 crores cannot be now because the company is closed down. So we are giving you 50 lakhs. It's a 5 lakh company, this Young Indian of Sonia Gandhi, and somehow they produce 50 lakhs from a company called Doltex in Calcutta, which when the enforcement directorate went said, ours is what is called as an entry company, or what you do is that you give them cash and they'll put you in an account. So 50 lakhs came from that, that's another separate investigation. But Motilal Vora went and spoke to the Congress party treasurer. That you can't recover this money, here's 50 lakhs, assign it to us. Now immediately the treasurer agreed. Guess who the treasurer was? Motilal Vora. So Motilal Vora went and talked to Motilal Vora and got this young Indian. Then having got this loan assigned to them, this debt assigned to them, Motilal Vora goes and talks to the National Herald Company Associated Journals, to the chairman of the board of directors, and says, your company is gone, finished, so we will buy your company. You issue 99 crores of 10 rupees each, which means 90 crores, and assign it to us. I mean, in our name, Young Indian. So, the chairman of the board says, I'll talk to the board. The board meeting is called. The chairman is also Motilal Vora. Directors is Oscar Fernandez and Suman Dubey and Motilal Vora, of course, and Oscar and these four people. And they pass a resolution that this 9 crores be given, and this 9 crores is then issued. There is no shareholders meeting. There is no reason why it should be priced at 10 rupees when you have 5,000 crores worth of property. All the company laws are violated, and the company becomes, National Herald Company now becomes the wholly owned subsidiary of Young Indian. That's the fraud. Everything is complete. I had photostat copies, so I've asked for original documents. So there is a procedure under the Criminal Procedure Code to ask for these documents, and that probably next month I should get them. Then the trial will not take more than, there are no witnesses, nothing. It's all documents. So maybe by next May, we will have some new tenants in Kerala. On the 7th of November, it's possible that Kannimozhi and Raja will go. After that, Chidambaram will go with his son. Maybe his wife also in the Sharda Chit Fund, she might also be there. The whole family reunion will take place. I've told many times to people, joke, because the TR jail superintendent is known to me, he told me, please don't send so many Madrasis to jail, because the Bawarchi, the cook, only knows how to make aloo puri, but these people want masala dosa and idli and so on. I told him, get another cook so that he can make some pizza and pasta and all that. That's also happening. And it's possible that in 2020, the working committee of the Congress may meet in TR jail at the way things are going. But there is nothing personal in this. They have looted this country's money. They are abroad, we know it. Why is it not possible to bring it back? Because the thing that we need to do, which I have told the Prime Minister, he asked me for a note and I gave him a note. The thing we have to do, there are many ways. He mentioned the German way, that is bribe the bank officials and get it. The French also did the same thing. The Americans threatened the bank officials that will put you in jail, and they surrendered to the Americans. There are many ways of doing it. But the most simplest way, which was followed by Egypt to get Mubarak's account, Libya to get Gaddafi's account, and Philippines to get Marcos' account, was the route through the United Nations Convention of 2005. That I think you barely mentioned in your book. But that's the one that needs to be developed. So if you have your second edition, please devote a special chapter to UN thing and give me a free copy as my royalty. Now, what is that United Nations? 2005 United Nations Americans are now today concerned about black money. Why? Because it's terror financing. You know, these participatory notes were used for terror financing. The National Security Advisor, Mr. M.K. Narayanan, told this in an open conference in Germany. That one of the biggest problems we have with black money is this. So now the Americans are very concerned. They are very keen that, you know, financing should be completely monitored and checked. And therefore, what you do is, we have signed the Convention of the United Nations 2005. But the government of UPA refused to deposit those protocols which the United Nations requires. That's a 5-minute work. You do it, then the United Nations empowers you to pass a law. I mean, that is, it empowers you to collect the money abroad. If you pass a law in your parliament, which you can do by an ordinance to make it quick, because nobody else will object to it, stating that all Indian citizens' accounts in 70 countries where secret banking, or what, by new methods, or you say, what is the new terminology you say? Illicit new environment or something. Not tax haven. You said tax haven is gone now. You have said illicit dispensation or something. Anyway. So, now 70 countries have secret banking. So, any Indian's account in any of these 70 countries is hereby nationalized. And the United Nations will help you get all this money, the bank accounts, the names, and give it to you. Like they did for Marcos, they did for that Egyptian leader, Mubarak, and for Gaddafi. They will do it for you, and you will get, according to me, 1.3 lakh, no, 1 trillion, yes, $1 trillion. Multiplied by 70, that will be 70 trillion rupees. My God, you don't need any taxes, you don't need anything, you don't need a budget also. I don't think you need a finance minister also. We anyway don't need this all. So, therefore, why don't we do it? The finance ministry keeps emphasizing DTAA, Direct Taxes Avoidance Act. But there, Manmohan Singh and Pranab Mukherjee have done something which we are not changing, which is they went and told Switzerland, yes, we will participate in this, but from henceforth, prospective, we will not do the retrospective assessments. So that has become completely useless, DTAA, which they keep quoting. Only way to get black money back from abroad is to use the United Nations Convention of 2005 and pass a law nationalizing all bank accounts. You'll get the money. Then you don't have to have taxes. One of the things I've noticed is that there are new ways to raise resources now. 2G spectrum, after that, what happened? They auctioned it, they got 3 lakh crores. Another year, they got 4 lakh crores. Then soon 3G is going to be auctioned, 4G, 5G. We have got at least till 2019 and probably 2024 also. We have got enough auctioning opportunity. Coal blocks. You auction the coal blocks, you get 11 lakh crores. What is the total income tax revenue of our economy according to the annual budget? 5 lakh crores. 5 lakh crores you can get by alternative means. In fact, today, if you want to generate confidence in the country, the first step you should do is abolish income tax. And the second thing you should say is there is only one tax 8% GST, nothing else, no forms to fill, just pay 8%. I was not very much in favor of GST, and I knew that GST will collapse. It has almost collapsed. But tomorrow if you say that no, all these gradations, this thing, nothing, only 8%, people will pay voluntarily. You can save the GST even today by that. So you do that, there will be enthusiasm. Of course, the stock market won't boom then, because presently they don't know what to do with their money. Everybody is putting in the stock market. And that's why the stock market is booming. But in my opinion, this economy can grow at 10 to 12% continuously for 10 years. You will become a developed country. You will overtake China. And you will be then face to face with America. And our conflict with America is only in one dimension, that is innovation. And we are smarter than the Americans. Given the opportunity, we will overtake America in another 30 years. So that is what the black money is doing, is corroding you. It is creating the impression that there are easier ways of making money than working hard. This shortcut mentality is ruining our young people. And this new westernized materialistic ideology that money is everything, that in my opinion will destroy us. We must have our old values back, that money is not an index of social stature. Learning is, fighting for the country is, philanthropy is, working hard in agriculture is. And therefore, this new value system will make you more happy. I've just come after spending 5 days with Sri Ravi Shankar in Bangalore, in his ashram. And there were so many foreigners there, very well to do. And I asked them, why have you come? He said, to become happy. She teaches us how to become happy. I said, you can't be happy in America. I said, we have tried, it doesn't work. Because this materialism leads to greed. Greed leads to corruption and exploitation. American society is not a happy society. They have produced tremendous innovations, we admire them for that. But this society has survived the worst possible attacks from abroad, and still it is one single society. People had predicted the country will break into 20 countries, nothing of the kind happened. Soviet Union broke into 16 countries. Yugoslavia broke into 4. Pakistan broke into 2. Indonesia was also broken 2. But this country, about whom everybody predicted will break up, has not broken up and will not break up because of this basic quality that people are willing to make sacrifice. Our army, an American told me, Indian army has the highest casualty of captains and lieutenant colonels than any other army in the world. I said, what do you mean? He said, they lead from the front. Whereas the American army does not have these captains and majors equivalent leading from the front. In Kargil, there was this steep slope. The charge was led by captains. So many died. This country therefore has that commitment, and we have to make it worthwhile, that commitment. And the only way that we can do it is by fighting black money. And I would say Mr. Narendra Modi should devote the whole of next year only for eliminating black money and nothing else, put up a war team and get it done. And it is doable. And one of the ways you can do is appoint Professor Vaidyanathan as black money commissioner. So, there is talent in this country. There is no shortage of talent. Get them and give them this task. And in my opinion, it can be done in 3 months. So I think this book is most appropriate. And I wish him well. I would like him to write more books. I've always been with him for all on this thing. When he mentioned Geetanjali, he didn't mention she's my daughter, by the way. You forgot that. My daughter went to Harvard Business School, and then she's now a financial expert in the United States. Her husband, who she met when she was studying at IIT Kanpur, he's now a professor of computer science. So they are both settled down there. But somehow when she comes, she goes to meet him, but she rarely meets me because she says you're always on tour. It's much easier to meet him. Anyway, the fact is that he inspires students, he inspires people. I think he should be facilitated to set up a think tank which deals with how to eliminate black money. Thank you very much.